It's a special night as the Brothers of Destruction reunite, taking on Miz and Morrison. The Miz kicking things off with the Devil's favorite demon, the ECW World Champion Kane. What a tag team match this is set to be here on an episode of ECW. Things are always set to be extreme, as Kane driving the Miz shoulder first into that top turnbuckle hard. There's a reason Kane and Undertaker earned the name Brothers of Destruction. They may not have teamed together in a while, but any chance they get, chemistry cannot be created. You either have it or you don't. Now it's The Miz getting dumped to the floor by The Undertaker. The Undertaker quickly turns his attention to The Miz on the floor. Oh, and a boot to the side of the head of The Miz. The dead man thinking the guillotine leg drop, but Morrison, John Morrison, just blocking the Undertaker with a clothesline that sends the dead man to the floor. Great way to save your tag team partner. As we are back on this episode of ECW, The Miz and John Morrison going to work on keeping the Undertaker isolated from Kane. What a great turnaround it was after Undertaker attempted that guillotine leg drop, only for John Morrison to block with a clothesline that sent the Phenom to the floor. Undertaker doesn't stay down forever, as the Undertaker, being the best striker in the game, comes in with some heavy artillery on John Morrison. Morrison trying to crawl away. There's only so far away you can crawl to. Morrison went for a kick. It only made the Undertaker just stand right up. Popping up. And then a big boot by the Undertaker that knocks the socks off Morrison. Tag made to the Big Red Machine Kane. I got to admit, The Miz and John Morrison have lasted a lot longer than I thought they were going to. I thought this was going to be a walk in the park for Kane and The Undertaker. Despite them not teaming in such a long time, I was very convinced that this was going to end quickly due to their abilities, in which they never hold back, and not to mention their size, power, advantage, being the veterans of the match. I could name a few. The list could continue on. Nonetheless, The Miz and John Morrison showing they may just make it. Kane sidewalk slam drops The Miz into the mat. Kane looking to head high. Morrison right there. Morrison has been there every step of the way when Miz has needed it the most. However, Morrison bites the bullet as Miz capitalizes, going to work on the leg of the Devil's favorite demon. Morrison on top of Kane, hammering away at the Big Red Machine. Get another look at this. John Morrison wasn't focused. Kane's foot was still caught up on the top rope. And that other leg that was touching the mat, The Miz went for a chop block. Now an opening has been created for John Morrison and The Miz to go to work on Kane's left leg. This is a brilliant strategy. You've opened up a whole new can of worms, creating a massive opportunity to put away Kane and The Undertaker. Keeping Kane isolated from The Undertaker is the best thing they can do. conquer one, then conquer the other. May have spoken too soon as Kane fights out. But not today as The Miz gets the clothesline in the corner. Kane kicking out at 2. That's a 2 count. That's progress for Miz and Morrison. Pulling a lot of torque. Putting a lot of torque on that leg. Great strategy. Exposing the weakness of your opponent. Keeping the fresh man in the match. Once again, a tag is made as John Morrison tags himself out so that The Miz can come in. What an uppercut by Kane. Kane tried to find us some offense to get back in this. The difference is each shot from Kane just blowing away The Miz. That leg costing Kane. Kane tried to take down The Miz. Kane. Big boot. Miz thinking another chop block, only to be caught by that massive boot from the Big Red Machine. Kane desperately needs to make a tag. That leg has experienced serious trauma. And here comes the Phenom. Go time. The hunt is on. The Undertaker bringing in the heat. Big boot lays out John Morrison. Quick to go for a pinfall attempt on Morrison. Morrison kicks out of 2. Undertaker measuring up. Could be thinking choke slam. Here comes The Miz. 2 for 1 deal. Nothing like a buy one, get one. Turns around. Both men in the ring. And both Miz and Morrison take a ride. Choke slams. Just like the good old days. Undertaker taking Morrison for the ride to death. Tombstone pile driver, and that is good night for Miz and Morrison here on ECW. Undertaker and Kane show that no matter what happens between them, they will always be unmatched when they are paired together. What a showing. Undertaker and Kane. I got to admit, John Morrison, The Miz, gave Kane and Undertaker a good run for their money. But The Undertaker and Kane were just too much. And come out victorious.